Hi, I'm Alex from Stage Agent, and today I am with Michelle Monti, a communications consultant by day and also a member of the Mass Music and Arts Society in Mansfield, Massachusetts. So welcome, Michelle.
Yes, before the pandemic started, I was cast in a play called Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike, which was written by Christopher Durang. You can tell by the title that the characters' names are taken from Chekhov plays. And I was really excited because I was playing the role of Sonia, and we rehearsed for 3 months in a small community theater outside of Boston, Massachusetts, for 3 months until the pandemic interrupted our flow. So I think like everyone else, we thought it would only be a 2-week break from our in-person rehearsals. So it wasn't too bad. We just thought, okay, well, we'll just practice from home and look over our scripts. At that point, the show was scheduled to go on stage in April of 2020. So we were a few months out from the planned stage date. So.
Right, and obviously when it was apparent that things weren't going back to normal, did you take on the virtual leap?
Yes, because the show was so funny, and it was a small cast of only 6. So it was manageable in that, well, it wasn't going to be too bad to pivot from a live in-person production to a video, which was the idea of myself and the director, because we didn't want to let the show go and never see the light of day. One thing that went out the window was blocking, because when we realized that we would never be able to do it live, it would only be on Zoom, we had to throw away all the blocking we had practiced for 3 months. Props. Now we weren't using any of the props that the prop manager had started to gather. And so all of a sudden we went from a stage where you move and express yourself physically to a camera like this one where you have to stay in the frame. So I have a background in video production, so I thought it might not be the worst idea to try to make a video. What I didn't know were all the technical glitches that would happen when you record Zoom. Nobody knew at that point, as we all know, until the pandemic, Zoom was really just used once in a while for meetings at work. And now all of a sudden we were trying to use this technology for a video to engage the viewers for 2 full hours. And so when we recorded the footage, we found all of these glitches that now, looking back, we know what we could have done better. But at the time, no one knew these things. In television production, you set the time code to 0 so that all the cameras are recording the same time frame. And we were recording from 3 different people's computers, just starting and stopping whenever we felt like it. So when the editor got the footage, he unfortunately couldn't let the robot do the work. He had to manually find the same times where a person entered the screen. That was one giant glitch that ended up costing us 200 hours to video edit this show. So a regular 2-hour play took 200 hours to edit. If you had planned this, I don't know if anyone in the world could have thought how to plan this, but we didn't have time to plan. And we're recording from our homes. The backdrop doesn't match. There's 6 people in 6 different homes with 6 different white walls, if they're lucky. So we just had everyone try their best to come up with some blank background. And we sort of did it minimalist without any set. And just made the best of it. It aired on a weekend as a fundraiser for our community theater in Mansfield, Massachusetts, and we had viewers watching from their homes. Again, this was the middle of the pandemic, so I think people were eager to have some sort of theatrical experience, and they supported us very well. Luckily, our community theater had just bought a new building that has a giant parking lot, and the executive director pivoted really well. He started doing drive-in comedy shows on an outdoor stage that they whipped up, and we did some music. He had some local musicians come a couple of nights. And there wasn't as much theater, but at least he had some arts events that would keep them going through that year. So, and then this spring we just performed another play, again, in this one in person, under a tent in the parking lot. So I think that people have had to take the physical structures they've had, and if they're lucky enough to have an outdoor space, then the patrons are more comfortable to come and watch. Yeah, I think that's a great question. Because I was actually playing the role of Sonia in the play, and it was such a great role, and I really didn't want to let it go, to go out into the ether and never be performed. So I think I did learn about myself that, wow, I found a solution. I volunteered 200 hours of time over several months. I'm really proud of the outcome. And I think it was kind of amazing that the skills I had already had in my back pocket were available to be used. And again, during that pandemic, like the height of it, I think it was really good to have a project, like a creative project like this, that I could spend my time on, especially with isolation and people, being cut off from each other. And I think the funny silver lining of that awful health crisis, the national crisis we all went through, international crisis, is just sort of taking stock and being appreciative of what you have, and that is the value of theater. I think it really showed that you still need theater, no matter what, no matter if everyone's locked in their homes. Theater finds a way, like a plant through the cracks, to survive.